Hi everyone, Ravi this side. Welcome to Engineering Adda. Today in this video, we are going to discuss about one of the lead code array question, which is question number 747. And this question is about largest number at least twice of others. So what this question is and how we can solve it out, that is what we are going to discuss in this video. So let's get started for that. And let me try to come out of it and go to the lead code first. And then see how we can solve this. So here you can see I am on the question number 747, which says largest number at least twice of others. So we have to find out the largest number, which is at least twice of all other numbers present in that list, or you can say array. Okay. So you can say, as the question suggests, you are given an integer array nums where the largest integer is unique. Okay. And determine whether the largest element in the array is at least twice as much as every other numbers in the array. So you can see the first statement says that the largest integer is unique. There is no duplicacy. Okay, so the largest integer is unique. Now what we have to do is we have to determine whether the largest element in the array is at least twice as much as every other's numbers in the array, and that largest element should be at least twice of others element inside that array. Okay, if that is the case, then we have to find out the index of that largest element and then we have to return that index. If that does not exist, we have to return -1. Okay, so if it is, return the index of the largest element or return -1 otherwise. So this is what we have to solve. This is what the problem is and this is what we have to solve. So let me try to brief you about the example also. So you can see that we have the example 1 and example 2. You can see in the example 1, the array is 3610 and the output is 1, which is the index of 6. So you can see the largest element, which is 6, is a unique element and it is greater than, it is at least twice of others element. So you can see 6 is twice of 3, 6 is greater than the twice of 1 and greater than the twice of 0. So that is what 6 is filling the criteria, and that is where we have to return the index of 6, which is 1. Okay, 6 is the largest integer. For every other numbers in the array x, 6 is at least twice as big as x. The index of the value 6 is 1, so we have to return 1. Now, if you go to the example 2, you can see that we have the elements in the array, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and the output is -1 because 4 is the largest element and it is less than twice of the value of 3. So we have to return -1. So this is what we are going to solve today. And this is what the question is. So you got the question. Now let me try to tell you how we can solve it out. So I'm going to randomly solve this out. I'm not going to worry about the complexity. Okay, so I'm directly going to create a, let's say, algorithm, and then we are going to solve it out. So you can see we have to find out, first of all, we have to find out the largest element, and it says it is a unique. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a temporary array where I will try to store the nums element, and then we'll try to sort that array and find out the largest element. Once we have the largest element, what we are going to do is we are going to compare that largest element with the elements inside the array, which is nums. And if that largest element is greater than, it is greater than the twice of others elements inside that array, then in that case, what we are going to do is we are going to keep a count, and the count would be, let's say here, if you'll take the example first, let's say we just sorted out this array into a, we stored this array into the temporary array and then sorted out that temporary array. We got the final largest element, which is 6, and now we are going to iterate through the nums. Now we are going to write the logic in the way that we are going to check out each element except that largest element, and each element should be like the largest element should be at least greater than or equal to twice of each element, and we are going to compare through each elements, and we are going to keep a count. Okay, so at the end, if this largest element is greater than the twice of all others element, then the count would be length of this array minus 1, because we are just leaving the largest element. And if that is the case, then the largest element is like fulfilling the criteria. Now we have to find out the index of that largest element, and that we can do by iterating through the this array again. Okay, so that is what we are going to do. So let's get started, and let me try to write down the code for you. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a temporary array. So let's say int temp array equal to new int, and its length should be equal to the length of nums. Okay, so that is what it is. And now we have the temporary array. Now let me try to store the element of nums in temporary array. So I'm going to create a loop here. Let's say int I equal to 0, I is less than nums dot length, and then I plus plus, and we are inside this loop. Now let me try to store the element I. I'm just writing down the code in a very basic way so that everyone will understand it. So what I did is I just created a temporary array, and I just try to store the nums element into the temporary array. So we have two arrays, nums and temporary temp. And now what we are going to do is we are going to sort out this temp. Okay, so how we can do is there is a way with the help of this array dot sort method. What we can do is we can sort out the temp. Now from temp, if you have sorted this out, it will sort your temporary array in increasing order. So how we can find the largest element? So let's say largest equal to temp, and it would be like temp dot length minus 1. Yeah, you can say, or you can also use the length of nums. So let me try to use the length of temp. So temp dot length minus 1. So we got the largest element. Now like we are just going to pick the last element. Okay, and that would be the largest element, because we have the array like we have the sorted array which is sorted in the increasing order. So we have the largest element. Now what we have to do is we have to iterate through the nums and find out if all other elements than the largest element, like the twice of others element than the largest element, is either less than or equal to the largest element, or in the other word you can say that largest element is greater than or equal to the twice of others elements inside that array. So for that, let me try to iterate through this nums. So I equal to less than this nums dot length, I plus plus. Now we are inside the loop. Now what we have to do is I have to check first the largest element should be avoided, right? So largest so largest not equal to nums I. Okay, so we are not going to compare the largest element. Now what we are going to do is we are going to compare others elements. Okay, so what would be the condition? The condition would be largest would be greater than or equal to nums I, like twice of nums I, twice of others element, right? If that is the condition, what we are going to do is we are going to create a count and we are going to increase that count. So let me try to create a integer count, and let's say we are going to initialize with 0. So we have the count. If there is a successful case, we are going to increase the count. Okay, and at the last, if everything is like if all the elements are less than, like if the largest element is greater than the twice of all others element, then the count would be length of that array minus 1, because we are ignoring the largest element. If that is the case, then the condition is fulfilled. Now we have to find out the index of that largest element. Okay, so we have the count. Now what we are going to do is we are going to compare the count. Okay, so where we are now, let's say if count double equal to like count double equal to nums dot length minus 1, then we are good. Now we have to find out the index of that largest element. So for that, what we can do is we again can iterate through this loop. So just copy this out, and here let me try to create one variable called answer and initialize it with minus 1. Okay, so we are directly going to return the answer, and if nothing is satisfied, then the answer would be minus 1. Otherwise, it would be we are going to replace that answer with the index of that largest element. So we are inside it. Now we have to find out the index of that largest element. So how we can find it out? Just put a if condition, and if largest double equal to nums I, then we got the index. So we are going to assign that index to answer, and now simply what we have to do is we have to return the answer here. So just return answer, and that's it. Let me try to again remind you what we are doing. So we are creating a temporary array where we are storing the element of nums. We are sorting out that temporary array, and then we are finding out the largest element. And then what we are doing is we are creating a Now what we are doing is we are creating a count variable which is keeping the count of success cases. Okay, so what we are doing is we are iterating through the nums array, and we are checking out that each elements inside that nums array other than the largest element is fulfilling the condition. If that is the case, then we are going to increase the count, and at last what we are doing is we are checking out if the count is equal to the length of the array minus 1, then we are this is the successful scenario. And now what we are doing is we are finding out the largest elements index, and that is what we are returning here. So this is what we are doing. Now let me try to run this and then see. So somewhere we are reached into the file while parsing. We are okay. So how it is? We should have double quotes. One closing braces was not there. Let me try to again run it and then see. So you can see the case 1 is accepted, case 2 is also accepted. Now let me try to submit this and then see. So you can see it took 2 milliseconds and it beats 13.3 9% of the solution. So I can see that this is a weird way, but yeah, this was a very generic approach that I followed, and this is how you can solve this problem. So this is about the video, guys. If you like the video, please hit the like button and please subscribe the channel for more such content. Thanks.